Hi, Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health, coming live to you from Instagram, Naomi's Home Health Facebook page. Oh, my stand is not keeping up. And going live into my thyroid group. So, this one skill that I wanted to talk to you about that makes me so successful with helping people and my clients in particular improve their health. So, one thing that I learned when I was sick about health and healing is how to use my intuition. So I've always been intuitive, but you know, when you're sick, you sort of lose that and you become cloudy and become desperate and you have a lot of fear and you don't really sort of feel into what's going on in your body and what's going to benefit you. So, you know, drop it in the comments if any of this is making sense. If you use your intuition, say hi. I'd love to hear from you. So what I did learn, like I was saying, is about using my intuition. So there was two women who really helped me with this. And one of them was Lana Jackson. Thanks, Lana. So she was like, you know, instead of just going and finding someone on Instagram and following what they do, why don't you, you know, research and listen to what they're saying, but then if it doesn't feel right in here and in here, don't do it. Because I was coming from a place of fear and going, I'm going to do that because, you know, Mary on Instagram told me it was really good and such on Facebook was doing this, and, you know, people in the comments, they're using collagen and it's doing this and working wonders. So instead of just following what other people were doing, I started to sit and think, okay, is this something that my body needs? And if I felt funny about it, I felt queasy, I felt like my body was saying no, I just wouldn't do it. So I stopped putting my time and energy and money into things that were not going to serve me. And I started to really start to heal because I started to do, you know, tools and practices and eat foods that actually benefited my body because I was listening to what it needed. I'll give you an example, right? So for 2 years, I was dabbling with fermented foods, apple cider vinegar, you know, kombucha, stuff like that. And I just kept on feeling like, I don't think this is right for me. My body just kept going, oh, I don't know. But I kept going, no, I hear it's really good and it's going to help me. So I kept eating the sauerkraut and the kimchi and the drinking the kombucha and my body, I just didn't feel right. And especially when I would have some apple cider vinegar, I'm like, how does something that burns the crap out of you work and feel so good? Then I had watched a couple of videos from different people that talked about the fermentation process and what it does and how it takes all the living water out of the food, and it's food that's grown, it's rotting food, it's grown on decay, the bacteria is grown on decay. And I just remember thinking, this is why my body was saying this is not for you, because I want to eat foods that are hydrating and that have that living water still in it. And there's plenty of good bacteria in fruits and vegetables, and it does a lot to support your gut health. And I just thought, you know what, if my body keeps cringing every time I want to have something like that, then maybe it's not for me. I'm not going to go into something that it's just because it's a trend. Same as ice baths. I don't feel into that. Like, I swim in the ocean all the time and it's not always warm here, but ice baths, I just have never really felt like it could be something for me. So after doing a little bit of research, there are people who should not do ice baths, and that are people who have had adrenal issues. And, you know, you don't hear these things when people are advocating for something that's really good for them. So you're not hearing the pros and cons, you're hearing the pros, like, this is what it's done for me. The reason that ice baths feel so great for people is because you get an adrenaline rush. But if your adrenals are already pumping out excess adrenaline all the time, you're pumping out too much, and that's when you're going to get a crash or a dip. Or, you know, I'm just saying it's not for everybody. I'm not saying don't do it. But what I've started to really learn is that I can really read my clients and other people's health through my intuition as well. So people will come to me and, you know, we go through their past health, their present, things that have happened to them forever, things that they're currently doing. And my intuition will just go, that's not good for them. Let's add in this. I'm all about adding stuff in. And it really resonates with my clients, because I'll be like, okay, you know, this tea I think is something that's really going to benefit you, or this affirmation, or this exercise, or this nutrition, or, you know, let's add in more pineapple because you're having these digestive issues. And, you know, pineapple's great to break down foods and things, and it's got those enzymes in it that help with gut health. So it's called bromelain, by the way, the enzyme that is in pineapple, and it's a lot of it is in that core that we usually cut out and don't eat. That is a really good enzyme for digestive health. So what basically I do is, when I sit with my clients and I just sit and take notes and they're telling me stuff and things just come out, then what happens is I go and I write a program. So if you're going to see somebody that has a printout and they're giving it to all their clients, they're really doing you a disservice, because not everyone's the same. You've got different DNA. You have different environmental factors that have affected your health over the years. You have, you know, different trauma, different stress. Lots of different things have happened to you from birth to the present moment that affects you. So if you're getting a program from somebody like that is the same as everybody else that they're doing, they're actually, you know, doing you a disservice. So I've used some of those programs, and some of the things I learned, you know, they were really good and I learned a lot. But where you want to invest your money is someone who is going to work with you and someone who you feel comfortable with. Don't just go and invest in somebody because everybody else is, you know, going to them, or everybody else is like, oh, they were really good for me. They probably were really good for them. It doesn't mean it's going to be good for you. So work with somebody who is going to work with you on an individual basis, who is going to ask questions from a long time ago, not just like, what did you do last week, or what are your symptoms? We want to know a lot more: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. We want the whole package. We want to know what's going on at a much deeper level for you. So that is my skill. I don't sit here and give you a reading. I'm not psychic, but what I feel, it comes into my mind, like, you know, I feel like this is going to be really good for you. I feel like we should add in this. I feel, you know, and I can really feel into your health, because I've been where you are. I've been that person who really wants to get better, or has seen 20 different people and spent thousands of dollars. I've been there. So I don't want you to have to keep going and spending a fortune. Like, your health is an investment, but you've got to invest it in the right place. Same as the stock market. If you don't invest it in the right place, you can lose your money. So we're going to invest in the right things, and by reducing the stress around healing. Because if you are starting to learn to heal, and I'm not just talking about your physical body, I'm talking your mind, your heart, all of these things. To get into healing, you have to do the whole package. So it's a big ask when you go to somebody and, you know, you're just going to get a program and they're just going to say, here you go, do this and follow these, and then come back to me if they ask you to come back. I even had people who didn't ask me to come back. But you really need to see somebody more than once. And it is very, very important that you have a mentor. It is extremely important. You can't just go following people on Facebook and thinking that you can heal and do everything yourself. You may, then 0.1% of the population might be able to do that. But you really need support. You really need someone to advocate for you. You really need someone to help you with what's going on in your body and understand what's happening in your body, not just what is going on, you know, in everybody else's body and everybody's the same and blah, blah, blah. It's not the way. So I want to work with you on an individual basis, and I will do that by asking you a lot of questions and learning about you in particular. We have an hour, we have a whole hour, and I will get you to come back to me because I want to see where you're at with this process. Like, you know, you can't just go and do a program and then go, okay, off you go. We want to learn that what you're doing, was that okay? Can we add something in? We're going to create new habits, improve some things that are going on in your life, create new habits. When that's a habit and you're doing this daily, we're going to add things in. We're not going to overwhelm you with changing your whole life. We are going to give you some things, like I'll say, okay, first week do this, and then we're going to add these in and this and this. And then maybe in a couple of months you come back and we reassess what's going on and maybe say, okay, well, that didn't work for you, or you're not doing that. Why were you not comfortable with doing that? Let's work on why you're not comfortable with doing that, because I give you exercises, tools, practices for a reason, because you need them. But if you're not comfortable doing it, maybe we need to take it a step back. So it's really important to have somebody who works with you like that on an individual basis, because we're all different. So for me, I know my skill is using my intuition. I know that I can feel where you're coming from. I know that I have a lot of information. I have a lot of healing practices up my sleeve. I'm an expert in thyroid, autoimmune, gut, liver health. That is where I excel. I excel at, I've done the emotional work. Like, I've had a lot of shit going in my life, and you have to work on that. You have to. There's no ifs or buts about it. You have to work on what's happened, or it could be something really basic. It might not be that you've had a lot of trauma in your life, but some things can, we can look back and think, okay, this is where you had something going in your life and it's affected your body. Your emotional health will affect your physical health. So it's important to work on that. If you're not working on it, it's time to start, because you will only get so far working on the physical. Nutrition's important, yes. Sleep is super important. But if you're not sleeping, why is that? We're going to look at these reasons. So I hope that something here has resonated with you, and I hope that you can get the help that you need. But I'm ready to work with you on that level, because I know I can help you. I trust that I can help you, and I've been helping a lot of people. So that is what I do best. So working with you, if you really, really want a mentor, I know that I can be that person for you. So if you are on Instagram, the link is in my bio, and on Facebook, I will put the link in the comments, and I hope to see you soon.